What's up, guys? It's MB Boxing, and today I'm going to be predicting the outcome of Jamal James versus Radzhab Butaev, and this is going to be a 12-rounder for the WBA Welterweight World Championship, and this fight is going to be Saturday, October 30th from the Michelob Ultra Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada, and this fight is going to be broadcasted on Showtime. And to get into both fighters' resumes, Jamal James, fighting out of the United States, holds a record of 27 wins, 1 defeat with 12 wins coming by way of knockout. He's currently not ranked by BoxRec in the welterweight division due to inactivity, and he is the current WBA Welterweight World Champion. His only defeat came by unanimous decision to Yordenis Ugas, who is the current WBA Super World Welterweight Champion. And to now list some of his best victories, he has a unanimous decision win over Juan Carlos Abreu, a unanimous decision win over Javier Molina, a split decision win over Wale Omotoso, a majority decision win over Abel Ramos, a unanimous decision victory over Antonio DeMarco, and he's coming off a unanimous decision victory over Thomas Delorme in August of 2020. And to get into his opponent's resume, Radzhab Butaev, fighting out of Russia, holds a record of 13 wins, no defeats with 10 wins coming by way of knockout. He's currently ranked number 84 by BoxRec in the welterweight division. I do think he should be ranked higher, though, but he does have a no contest against Alexander Besputin, but I will get more into that later on. But some of his best victories have came over Jair Gonzalez by unanimous decision, and he also has a knockout victory over Terry Chatwood. And more into that no contest against Alexander Besputin. That was for the same title that he is fighting Jamal James for. It was for the WBA regular welterweight world title. That is the official name of the belt. And yeah, I mean, they fought a really, really good fight. It was very competitive. I remember scoring it like 115, 113 in favor of Besputin. It was really that close. It could have been a draw, or it could have been in favor of Butaev. It was a really close and disputed decision. But yeah, I mean, it was initially in as a loss for Butaev, but yeah, I mean, Besputin did test positive for a banned substance. I believe it was a PED, and yeah, it was changed to a no contest. So, I mean, that's how good Butaev did against someone who is on steroids or on a PED in their fight. He put on a good performance. He was able to hurt Besputin a couple times, and Butaev, I mean, he made that fight really competitive and arguably won. And it was a really good fight, and he put on a good performance. And in my opinion, this fight against Jamal James is going to sway in his favor. I think that his style mixed with his power is really going to work in his favor. Jamal James has shown that he could trade with fighters, but not against a guy like Radzhab Butaev. When he's trading against Delorme isn't a fighter that's really known for his power. Same with guys like Antonio DeMarco. But Butaev is brute force coming forward. He's got very, very strong legs that keep him stable. And, I mean, when he gets hit to the body himself, he takes it and keeps coming forward. When he gets hit to the head, he takes it and keeps coming forward. We saw that against Alexander Besputin. And here against Jamal James, he's really going to need to dig to the body because he does have those very powerful hooks to the body. We saw that against Terry Chatwood as well, where he was able to dismantle him with body shots. But he does need to be careful of leaving his temple open, his forehead area, because he does sort of leave that area open to get hit with shots. And we saw that a couple times against Besputin, where he sort of lets his defense down a bit and gets hit. But he did take a lot of Besputin's best shots pretty well. But here against Jamal James, I mean, Jamal James has the height and reach advantage, I believe so. And yeah, I'm pretty sure Jamal James is like 6'2". Butaev is like 5'10", somewhere around there. But Jamal James does have a pretty short reach for being someone who is 6'2", but still, I think he's going to try and utilize that here. I know that we saw Jamal James brawling a couple times in his last couple fights, like when he fought DeMarco and Delorme, but he's primarily a fighter who likes to utilize that reach on the outside, and I think he will try and do that here, and it will be a very smart tactic. And I know I did make an announcement video on this fight about a month ago, but that was because the WBA did announce that box-off tournament consisting of the WBA welterweight champions, Jamal James, the regular champion, Yordenis Ugas, the super champion, and the winner of this fight will fight the winner of Yordenis Ugas versus Imantas Stanionis for the super belt. And yeah, that would be a very interesting fight, but I think Yordenis Ugas beats all of them, no matter what. So, but with this fight, I mean, just to break it down, I think early on it will be fairly competitive with Jamal James boxing, utilizing that reach advantage and his height on the outside. But Butaev will start to dig to the body so that he could capitalize on that body work early on later on in the fight. And I think it could be really, really close after like 6 to 8 rounds. It could be a draw. It could have either man ahead by like 1 or 2 points. I mean, I'm just saying it could be really, really close. I mean, in that first half, arguably all the way up to the 8th round, we could see just Jamal James trying to utilize the reach, as I mentioned many times before, jabbing, landing the straight, and Butaev will most likely be the one going to the body with sharp hooks and going to the head as well with uppercuts, hooks. I mean, mainly Butaev's main shot is that sort of overhand right that sort of mixes into a hook that he did land a lot against Alexander Besputin. He also has that trademark hook to the body, as I was mentioning many times before here, and he does really carry a lot of power, and I think he's definitely going to show that here against Jamal James, and this could be a very, very big win for either man. As I mentioned before, the winner of this fight gets to fight the winner of Ugas versus Stanionis. Hopefully that happens. I know Yordenis Ugas has been saying a lot about how he's not happy with it, how he shouldn't be fighting any of these fighters, but still, WBA did order it, and I believe he could get stripped of his title if he does not move forward with it. But more onto this fight, I think the last 4 rounds, if not the last 6 rounds, really could go in favor of Butaev. I think we'll really start to see Butaev break down Jamal James and ultimately stop him. And I think that Butaev will make a statement here and be the first man to ever stop Jamal James with going to the body, with going to the head with those hooks. And it will be those hooks that really just lay a dent on Jamal James, and it will really tire him out, will make him be broken down leading up to those later rounds. And I think Jamal James could get dropped later in the fight and ultimately stopped due to an accumulation of shots while standing, leading the referee to stop the fight, or he could go down with a body shot and not get back up. But overall, I still think he's going to just get stopped somewhere in the last 4 to 5 rounds, like from rounds 8 to rounds 12, somewhere around there. And I think we will be seeing a new WBA regular welterweight world champion, and Radzhab Butaev will get that second shot at the belt here, winning it, in my opinion. And yeah, I mean, it could lead to big opportunities, as I mentioned before, with that super title opportunity in the near future, possibly, most likely. But yeah, Radzhab Butaev will most likely utilize his pressure fighting style, and I think it will work to his advantage, and he will ultimately get that stoppage victory. So overall, I believe that Radzhab Butaev will defeat Jamal James by knockout, and the stoppage will happen from rounds 8 to rounds 12, and Radzhab Butaev will get his 14th victory, 11th by knockout, and become the new WBA Welterweight World Champion. And yeah, that's really it. I'm MB Boxing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.